Brothers, don't you know that you belong to the Son of God, who is our Savior? And what he considers the church today is really our bodies. I carry with me the heart of Pinoynites. You need to understand it well. Let's go back to the children's game first, so you can better understand what I mean. I don't know if this is the right way I feel, but I know in my heart that this is one of our God's favors, that he also wants to make everyone know, so I hope you understand it well. Because I have my own understanding of everything. You can judge me, but first, read all my explanations, in all things I have seen in our world. Isn't it, in the age of our youth, when we play, and when we can't play the game, we redeem it to someone who is better than us? Just imagine. In shorts, so that means that game is like what Christ did to us. But he didn't just play. But since my example is a game, you should take it seriously. If you believe, read this important message that he saved us before, through his crucifixion, the Son of God overcame the sin of the world, the original sin of Eve and Adam, in the beginning of the creation of God. In our day and age, it is very scary if you think about it. But I tell you that we should not be afraid, and let's know well what will happen, according to what Christ taught in the Bible. Don't come near the people who work miracles, those who work wonders, because they do not have true salvation. Think of my example. It is Christ himself who is victorious, not the people today. So if at least in the game, speaking of the following info, do not allow false prophets and false Christ to deceive you, even if they use their names in real life. There is something worse than them, coming soon, that will be greater than them, and introduce themselves as Christ, Savior or Messiahs. And also the serpent will come at the same time, and the 4 fallen angels will appear from the Euphrates River, and they will kill 1/3 of the people on earth. Read it carefully and understand. Signs of the new and second coming of the Son of God can be found in the Bible, specifically in the books of Daniel, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and Revelation. These signs are also called signs of the times or signs of the last days. But God sees the mistakes people have made in this day and age. So I did this, to wake them up to the truth, because God loves us, and he does not want any more sheep of his Son to go astray. Here are some of the signs that will occur, according to what Jesus said to his disciples. The arrival of false redeemers, according to Jesus in Matthew 24:5. There will be saviors who will introduce themselves and bring salvation to people, but they will not be true redeemers. Having wars and disturbances in different parts of the world. According to Matthew 24:6-7, there will be wars, disturbances, and needs among people in different parts of the world. Occurrence of disasters and calamities. According to Matthew 24:7-8, there will be earthquakes, floods, famines, and other disasters and calamities. Responding to the gospel throughout the world. According to Matthew 24:14, the gospel will be a witness to the whole world before the end comes. Appearance of the Antichrist. According to 2 Thessalonians 2:3-4, there will be a person who will introduce himself as God or Christ and will rule the world. Having signs in the sky. According to Matthew 24:29-31, there will be signs in the sky, such as the rising of the sun, the darkening of the moon, and the appearance of the stars in the sky. Changing the state of the world. According to Timothy 3:1-5, the state of the world will be bad in the last days, where people will be oppressive, cruel, and proud, It is also important to remember that according to the Bible, no one knows the exact time of the return of the Son of God, so it is important to be prepared at any time and weather. And I have good news for you, brothers. Those who read my messages, God's rapture of all people will take place in our age. So help me spread the right prayer to everyone. The Our Father prayer, because it is one of the true will of our Savior, one day at a time. You must understand the prayer, so that you can say it with all your heart to our living God the Father. Help me spread the Our Father prayer. Preparing for the coming rapture event, nearly happened, by God the Father. Together, we will meet His begotten Son in the clouds of heaven and accept His reward for each of us. Make this prayer on your daily routine. 1 time a day is enough. You need to understand the meaning of that prayer. We will be able to praise our Savior freely when we get to heaven. But for now, we must spread the Our Father prayer.